This video will cover the construction steps for a vertical twin-size bed, the vertical double-size bed, and the queen vertical-size bed. Refer to the construction guide that came with your kit while watching this video. Your easy DIY Murphy bed can be constructed out of plywood or particle board. But always remember the basic safety rules of woodworking. The first step in building your easy DIY Murphy bed is to cut all the wood to the dimensions listed in your cutting guide and items list handbook. Don't forget to wear the proper hearing protection, gloves, and of course safety goggles. You can easily cut the wood yourself if you have a circular saw or a table saw. However, having a saw is not necessary because most of the major hardware stores in your area offer wood cutting services. When shopping for the wood at your local hardware store, remember to check the wood to avoid warped panels and solid wood pieces. Not cutting the wood correctly would definitely cause problems during the construction process. So double check all your measurements carefully. After you get all the wood cut, we recommend that you label all the wood parts so that you can easily keep track of the different parts as you build your easy DIY Murphy bed. You can use painting tape or labels from the dollar store to easily label the wood pieces as shown here. Refer to section 2, page 6 of your construction guide when marking all the wood pieces. We recommend that you apply veneer or melamine edging tape to the following bed parts to give them a finished professional look. Refer to section 3, page 7 of your construction guide when applying the edging tape. To apply edging tape to your wooden parts, you will require the following tools. 2 rolls are veneer edging tape if you are building your bed entirely out of plywood. 2 rolls of melamine edging tape matching the finish of your particle board if you decide to build your bed out of particle board material. An X-Acto knife. A small wooden block. Use a scrap piece from the frame struts. 1 sheet of sandpaper. We recommend around 180 or 200 grade. An edging trimmer, which you can buy from your local carpenter shop or hardware store. And lastly, you will need a regular household iron to apply the edging tape to the edges of the wooden parts. Start by cutting a piece of edging tape that is slightly longer than the edge of the wood that you are applying the edging to. Snap off the piece of edging tape from the roll. You can also use the scissors to cut the edging tape. Now center the edging tape on the top of the wooden edge as you see here. Grab your iron and run it along while applying firm downward pressure. It is best to do 1 to 2 feet at a time, alternating between the iron and the wooden block. Run your wooden block on your edging tape while applying firm downward pressure. After you are done applying the edging tape, use an X-Acto knife to trim off the ends of the edging tape, as you see here. Then use your edging trimmer and run it along the edge of the wood to trim away the excess edging tape. You may want to practice on a scrap piece of wood if you've never applied edging tape before. For all the plywood bed frame parts, use veneer edging tape. Use the same steps as shown here to apply the veneer tape to all the plywood parts. Read all instructions on the packaging that came included with your edging tape for proper temperature settings. In most cases, you will need to set your iron to the cotton temperature setting. When using veneer tape, you may use sandpaper to finish off the edges after you trim them with the edging trimmer. You may also use sandpaper on melamine edging tape. However, be careful not to scratch the surface of the edging tape. We recommend you angle your sanding block at 45 degrees on the edge of the wooden part that you are sanding. Start by placing the cabinet top bottom, part G, on your working surface. Now grab your two cabinet top solid wood sides and place them on the ends of the cabinet top bottom. Make sure the edges of the cabinet top sides are flush with the cabinet top bottom. Run a bead of wood glue along the edge of the cabinet top bottom and the edge of the solid wood side piece. Now place the side piece back on the cabinet top bottom and use wood clamps to clamp the two pieces together while making sure the edges are flush. At this point, you may use a damp cloth to wipe off any excess wood glue. Mark and measure for equally spaced pencil marks on the top edge of your side piece. Do the same for the other side. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill about 2 inches deep through the side piece. Do this where you place the 4 pencil marks. Use 4 number 8 2-inch wood screws to attach the cabinet side piece to the cabinet top bottom. Make sure all your screws are flush. Remove your wood clamps and repeat the same steps for the other side of the cabinet top bottom. To attach the cabinet top rear to the back of the cabinet top, start by measuring and marking, according to page 9 of your construction guide, along the bottom edge of your cabinet top solid wood rear piece. Run a bead of wood glue along the edge of the cabinet top bottom before you attach the cabinet top rear. Make sure the bottom edge and the two ends of the cabinet top rear are flush with the cabinet top bottom. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill through the cabinet top rear into the cabinet top bottom, approximately 2 inches deep. Drive one number 8 2-inch wood screw into each end of the cabinet top rear to secure it in place. Now proceed to drive the remaining number 8 2-inch wood screws. Mark and measure 1 5/8 from the finished edge of the cabinet top stopper part GB. Using a ruler, run a pencil line where you placed your pencil marks. Now use a scrap piece of 1x2 left over from your frame struts and place it on the end of the cabinet top stopper to mark your 3/4 inch spacing. Run a bead of wood glue along the narrow edge of the cabinet top bracket part GD. Now place the cabinet top bracket on the cabinet top stopper, aligning it with a pencil line as shown here. Check to make sure the cabinet top bracket has the exact 3/4 inch spacing on each end. Use 2 wood clamps to clamp the 2 pieces together. Measure and mark a 1 1/8 inch pencil line along the front of the cabinet top stopper part GB. Measure from the unfinished edge. This line is to help you drill your pilot holes. Now measure and mark according to page 12 of your construction guide. Drill where you placed the 6 pencil marks using a 1/8 drill bit. Drill 2 inches deep. Use number 8 2-inch wood screws to attach the 2 pieces together. Make sure the screws are flush with the wood. Now grab your cabinet top front part GA and place it on the front of the cabinet top stopper, while making sure the 2 unfinished edges are flush with each other, as well as the 2 ends. Now clamp the 2 pieces together while making sure the edges are flush. Use a piece of 3/4 inch 1x2 scrap wood and make sure the 3/4 inch spacing between the 2 finished edges of the cabinet top stopper and the cabinet top front is correct. Drill 4 pilot holes using a 1/8 inch drill bit. Drill 1 inch deep on the inside of the cabinet top stopper. Attach the 2 pieces together using 1 1/4 inch number 8 wood screws. You may use masking tape to mark your drill bit for the proper drilling depth. Now place the finished cabinet top front piece on your cabinet top bottom. You may use some 1x2 wooden spacers to set up your cabinet top bottom. Now measure and mark according to page 12 of your construction guide. Do not attach the 2 finished components together until you get to the assembly stage of your easy DIY Murphy bed. Start with your left cabinet side and lay it on your working surface with the inner side facing up. Measure and mark the mounting location for the upper stud plate according to the dimensions on page 13 of the construction guide. This step is very important. Refer to page 13 of your construction guide for the proper mounting dimensions depending on the kind of wood you are using for the face panel. Using a 5/8 diameter Forstner drill bit, drill 1/4 inch deep on the inner side of the cabinet panel. Do the same for the lower male pivot plate. Insert the stud on the back of the upper stud plate into the 5/8" hole. Use the carpenter's square to set up the upper stud plate on the cabinet side panel. Then mark the 4 holes on the upper plate with a pencil as you see here. Using a 1/8" drill bit, drill 1/2 inch deep through the 2 upper holes of the stud plate. Use 2 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws and drive them into the 2 pellet holes you drilled through the holes on the upper stud plate. Using a 1/4 inch drill bit, drill all the way through the cabinet side through the 2 lower holes on the upper stud plate. Insert the stud on the back of the male pivot plate into the 5/8" hole. Press the plate down until it is firmly seated on the cabinet panel. Use your carpenter's square to set up the male pivot plate. Now mark the 4 holes on the lower stud plate with your pencil. You should place a scrap piece of wood under the cabinet side panel to protect your working surface. Use a 1/8" drill bit to drill 1/2 inch deep through the lower 2 holes on the male stud plate. Now drive 2 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws into the pellet holes to secure the plate in place. Use a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill completely through the cabinet side panel. Do this for the 2 upper holes. Now flip the cabinet side over. And then use a 3/8" drill bit to drill 1/2 inch deep into the existing 1/4 inch holes. And now insert 2 cap nuts into the 2 holes. It is a good idea to place masking tape over the cap nuts to prevent them from falling out. Also drill 1/2 inch deep into the 2 1/4 inch holes on the lower male stud plate. Again, insert 2 cap nuts into the 3/8" holes and apply masking tape to keep them in place. After you flip the cabinet side over, insert 2 number 12 3/4 inch machine screws into the upper 2 holes of the male stud plate. Tighten the screws and then use a 3/16 Allen key to fully tighten the cap nuts. Follow the same steps to mount the upper plate and the lower plate on the other cabinet side panel. Place the left frame side rail on your working surface with the inner side facing up. Measure and mark according to the dimensions on page 15 of your construction guide. Using a 3/4 inch spade bit, drill all the way through the frame side rail. Now insert the 3/4 inch tube on the lower stud plate into the 3/4 inch hole on the bed frame side rail. The top edge of the frame side rail should be flush with the top edge of the plate. Use a scrap piece of solid wood left over from your frame struts and use it to check the spacing between the end of the bed frame side and the edge of the plate. The spacing between the two should be 3/4 inch. This is where the bed frame header part B is going to be mounted. Use your pencil and mark all the 7 holes on the lower stud plate. Using a 1/8 drill bit, drill 1/2 inch deep through the 5 holes on the lower stud plate. Now drive 5 number 12 3/4 inch wood screws into the 5 pilot holes. Do not over tighten the screws. Using a